Bill O'Reilly here. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update, sponsored by Tax Network USA, America's #1 choice for tax resolution. Please go to tnusa.com/bill or call 800-245-6000. Coming up next, the news with Mike Slater.
Thank you, Bill. It's Friday, May 31st, 2024. Here's what's happening today in America. It happened. They got what they wanted. American weapons attacking Russia, Israel and Rafah, and is Chipotle skimping? It's all coming up. Then Bill's going to be here with your message of the day. Well, it happened. Yes, of course it was a witch hunt. But oftentimes the witches got burned. Donald Trump, guilty on all 34 counts. As has been said, the first felony conviction of a former president wasn't for Iraq or Afghanistan or illegal CIA coups or Jones striking weddings or spying on Americans. No, it was because Trump misclassified in a business ledger a payment of a non-disclosure agreement, which is in and of itself completely legal. The sentencing will be done by the judge, who, by the way, donated to Joe Biden's campaign and donated to a group called Stop Republicans. That judge will sentence Trump on July 11th, 4 days before the Republican convention. I believe the judge will send Trump to prison. I don't see how they would go this far and not finish the job. The main talking point from the left is, and from Biden's team is, America, you can do better than voting for a convicted felon. Trump said this was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be on November 5th by the people, and they know what happened here. Everybody knows what happened here. We didn't do anything wrong. I'm a very innocent man. In other news, an hour before the jury gave their verdict, it was reported that the Biden administration secretly gave permission to Ukraine to strike Russia inside Russia with U.S. weapons. They say it's limited just to defend this one Ukrainian city that's near the Russian border, and that Ukraine doesn't have authority to attack deeper into Russia yet. But this is certainly another escalation. Israeli forces are now in central Rafah. IDF has confirmed tanks were spotted in Rafah. This as the International Criminal Court still has a warrant out for the arrest of the Prime Minister and Defense Minister of Israel. People have shared video online of their Chipotle burritos, claiming that their portions have shrunk. And Chipotle says it's not true. Some TikTok users have said that if you film the employee making your burrito, they'll put more food in it, which just seems wrong. Chipotle said it's rude to our team members. Don't do that. One of these days, I'll splurge and get the guacamole. I'm Mike Slater. If you need any hope based on what happened with the Trump verdict, join us on our podcast, Politics by Faith. Bill O'Reilly with your message of the day. Next.
If you own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles and have an auto warranty about to expire or have no warranty at all, listen up. Car Shield has a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that's now available to the public. Save on out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. So please call Car Shield now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. 800-925-7584 for a free quote. Drivers who activate the vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing and car rental options at no additional cost. So please call for your free quote, 800-925-7584, 800-925-7584. Hey, what do you have to lose? 800-925-7584. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. On this Friday, the unintended consequences of the Trump trial are staggering. More than 70 million Americans voted for Donald Trump in 2020, and I can't fathom that many of them are happy with the fiasco going on in New York City. So hatred among the citizenry will escalate as Americans sink deeper into their tribal compartments. I clearly remember the Obama-McCain and Obama-Romney campaigns. I was right in the middle of them. Passions were high, but bitterness was not. Now intense acrimony rules the land. President Biden is partially at fault. He could have asked his Justice Department and the Democratic Party to stand down on the Trump legal attacks. The former president made mistakes, but he is not a criminal. And trying to destroy him is a huge social indictment of Joe Biden. I mean, sending the unhinged Robert De Niro to politic at the Manhattan courthouse was one of the most craven presidential acts this historian has ever seen. The USA has been badly damaged by all the political hatred, no doubt about that, and it's not likely to end anytime soon. So at this point, President Biden should pardon Donald Trump of any and all charges leveled against him, just as Gerald Ford did with Nixon in the Watergate disaster. It may be Biden's last chance to save his legacy, and he doesn't even know it. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. You can reach me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, name and town if you wish to opine. Okay, let's go to the mail. This is from Joseph Molinelli, Quogue, Long Island, East End. Mr. O'Reilly, based on your comments, my daughter went to the dermatologist. They found a malignant melanoma. They got it out. You saved her life, which makes you Luca Brasi to my family. Okay. I'm your consigliere here, but I'm so happy that your daughter followed my advice. If you have anything on you that you haven't seen before, dermatologists, okay? Don't mess around with this. I'm very pleased about that. Madeline Duby, Quebec, Canada. Love Quebec. Quebec City, great place to go. Hey, Bill, do you think the gag orders on Trump for his trial is actually helping his campaign because it lets people form their own ideas about the trial and not be influenced by his comments and style? I don't know if it helps his campaign. I mean, I think most Americans, and I think this is different than Canada, most Americans know this is not fair, even if they hate Trump. Francis Coker, Forest Hill, Maryland, very much enjoy listening to you, O'Reilly, as you explain issues in a way the average citizen can understand without a slant. I have a question. What happened to all the investigations into President Biden's financial dealings? Well, the two committees in the House didn't come up with a link between Hunter Biden and Jim Biden's finances and Joe Biden's. They don't have it. That's it. Now, maybe they'll find it down the road, but remember, the FBI is not in this. No Justice Department investigation. It's the congressional committees that are doing it. In a moment, something you might not know. Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall, but there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. 5 years ago today, President Donald Trump threatened Mexico with high tariffs if that country did not help stem migration along their borders, both of them. The southern with Guatemala, the northern with the USA. The warning drastically reduced the number of illegal migrants entering the USA. You might remember that. Less than 2 years later, however, President Biden undid everything. Here is the story. On May 31st, 2019, Mr. Trump informed Mexican President Obrador USA was poised to impose a 5% tax on every single good coming from Mexico into the USA. Some products would see a 25% tariff. To avoid that, Mexico would have to cooperate with U.S. forces to secure the borders, wrote Trump on Twitter, quote, Mexico makes a fortune from the U.S. They have for decades. They can easily fix this problem. The response was immediate. Obrador quickly dispatched a letter to Trump stating, quote, we do not want any confrontation. Mexico will do as much as possible to stem the flow of migrants without violating human rights, unquote. Mexican army was immediately deployed to both borders. Checkpoints were erected, and the migrants stopped coming to a very large extent. 150,000 migrants breached the border each month before Trump's threat. After the threat, that dropped to 16,000, a decrease of 90%. Everything changed, however, in January 2021. On President Biden's first day in office, he issued his own proclamation called the Termination of Emergency along the southern border. The decision was catastrophic. Every executive order and policy instituted by Trump was knocked out. Since then, 12 million migrants have entered the United States of America. That's more than the total number of legal migrants who passed through Ellis Island during its 6 decades in operation. So, recapping, Donald Trump largely solved the migration problem. Joe Biden created an enormous deficit for America. Back in a moment. Your safety is important, and I am happy to introduce you to Byrna, a self-defense solution that will help keep you and your family safe. Byrna offers a powerful non-lethal pistol with tear gas, pepper, irritants, and kinetic projectiles that disable attackers for 30 to 40 minutes. It's all legal in every state, and no background checks are required. And they ship directly to your door, very private. They are American-made in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and are trusted by U.S. government agencies and hundreds of police departments. If you are a gun owner, you need options. Avoid the complexities that come with taking a life and having to defend your freedom in court. And if you're adverse to firearms, Byrna is a good alternative solution. So please visit Byrna.com/Bill to receive a 10% discount. That's BYRNA.com/Bill. Stay safe with Byrna. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.